At this time, we ask that you please rise. And gentlemen, remove your hats for the playing of the national anthem of Colombia, followed by the national anthem of the United States.
The road to the U20 Women's World Cup continues here in Fayetteville, Georgia this evening as Colombia faces the United States. Alongside Morgan Church, I'm Jason Longshore. And Morgan, the U.S. played so well against England in game one of this friendly set. They didn't get as many goals as you would think with the way that they played. What do you want to see different tonight?
Yeah, I think it comes down to really just the final product. They created a ton of chances. I think they outshot them 15-5. Second half, they really started to pour some things on. Katie Cox, England's goalkeeper, came up with some really big saves towards the end of the game. So I think tonight is about capitalizing on the opportunities that they created.
One player that jumped out to me with this U.S. team getting to know this roster is Elan Wynn in the midfield. Such a strong player on both sides of the ball. How important is she in that three-woman midfield today?
Yeah, she's a player that's just so smooth and comfortable and calm on the ball. She also does well to link play between the back line, playing the ball forward, and just does well to find the ball into small pockets, but also just keep the connection of the ball moving.
Colombia is a team that got into the World Cup really in the last slot coming out of South America. This has turned into a pretty good rivalry over the years across the programs between Colombia and the U.S. Could be a little combative today, depending on how this one goes.
Yeah, I think anytime that we, any of our teams get a chance to play Colombia, their teams have shown again and again that they find ways to compete. And these games typically end up pretty gritty. I probably assume Colombia is going to find the right moments to press. They probably won't press the entire game, but probably working off some pressing triggers, and then work to, as soon as they regain possession, to transition quickly into the attack. So for today for us, it's going to be all about how do we control that transition to defend, and then what do we do with our chances.
We've seen the growth in the South American game on the women's side. The investment level has gone up so much. So many of these Colombian players are coming from professional sides in the country. It feels like this really build up with the U20 World Cup later this year, the Women's World Cup next year in Brazil. It feels like this hemisphere is really starting to take hold of the women's game.
Yeah, and you really start to see even the blend of players that we have here. I mean, we have a large quantity of players from the college game, but now more and more, especially in this pool, we have a large quantity of players now in the professional game. And I think that you see that continually growing, where younger players are getting exposure and access to the pro level, which is obviously giving them access to challenge them to play at a higher level early on in their careers.
So many players in this U.S. pool came from either NWSL or USL Super League academies, and they've gotten time at those games. They're starring in college, and they're trying to make this U20 World Cup roster. As we're underway here in Fayetteville, Colombia in the yellow shirts moving from left to right. The U.S. in the all-navy moving from right to left. Second match here at the Arthur M. Blank U.S. Soccer National Training Center for the U20 women. Colombia talked about it coming in. They were expecting to come in and defend. They'll play England on Wednesday and get another test as they prepare for the World Cup. Kind of seeing that here, very condensed, not a lot of space for the U.S. to operate in early.
You can already see how compact they are between the lines, but even in just the 10 field players and how compact they are.
Great switch over to the right. The idea was there, trying to find Strawn, just a little overhit. Colombia with a throw on that far side. Arboleda with the throw. Los Cafeteros trying to win it back. It's the U.S. who find the handle. McGrew will drop it back to Cecil. Over to Boma. Alvarez forward. Unable to turn it, and Boma will settle in the middle third. Boma wearing the captain's armband for the U.S. The left side to Maxwell, plays it through. Getting to the corner, nowhere to go, trying to turn. Leona Joseph will keep possession for the U.S. with the throw. Colombia definitely daring the U.S. to find space. There isn't much so far. It's going to be combinations like that, out wide to the right. Cut back from the in line, still alive in the 18. And Colombia will now look for the escape route down the left. Back to Arboleda. And one more time back to Mercedes Martinez. Now it's Torres. Boma knocks it down, gets it back. Great turn and the block. Boma showing her leadership straight away at center back. Torres back to Viafra. And now Ospina. Martinez. Pressure coming from the U.S. Arboleda. Boma handles that well. But Colombia, great pressure to turn it around. Foul called, but that's one that a coach like Vicki Jepsen is not going to have a problem with, breaking up that transition moment.
Yeah, you start to see, we talked about at the beginning of the game, of their transition to attack. They're going to really look to probably exploit space, drive at the back line, and see if they can get some numbers in to create any type of opportunities for Colombia.
Valerine Loboa, the Portland Thorns attacker, upended there. Played in the 2025 Copa America final for Colombia's senior national team. Age eligible for the U20s. Free kick for Diaz. The Afro will go all the way back to Ospina. Well defended by the U.S. Torres knocks it into the middle. Carlos Paniagua has been with the Colombian youth women's national team pool for quite a while, so a lot of continuity here. Foul called on the grab, free kick U.S. Boma to win. Nowhere to go for Loboa. A little bit of a late call there. Diaz thought she had gotten to it, but went through the player to get there. Impressed with Colombia closing things down so quickly in moments.
Yeah, I think they have the personality and the identity of really being tenacious, especially in those moments. If they can press right away as soon as they lose it, they're trying to get numbers around the ball and try to recreate a turnover as soon as they lose possession.
Boma, Alvarez, back to Boma. Nice decision by Wynn to find some space. Alvarez. Camerly. Heavy on the pass. Counter pressure engaged. Arboleda gets caught. Top of the arc. Shot gets blocked. Still alive for the U.S. That foul will go against the U.S. See it so often when teams sit back deep. It ends up being the counter pressure moments when you do lose possession in the attacking half that you can start to unbalance them a bit.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think even in the U.S.'s last possession, I really liked their patiences. They're trying to drive, they recognize too slow to be able to play in behind, try to connect with the midfielder, looking to find the other side. So they're really being selective as to when they're playing that final pass and trying to get in behind the back line.
8th minute, no score yet. Both teams kind of settling in here. Camerly on the ball. Alvarez. National champion at North Carolina up the left side. Strong defending from Torres. Maxwell will earn the throw. Alvarez to take. Couldn't find the flick. Colombia trying to get that out. Counter pressure works again. Alvarez. Boma, great decision. Looking for the 1-2. Closed down quickly, though. U.S. will reset. Alvarez to Boma. Cecil. Alvarez closed down, draws the defenders, and then finds Boma. Good decision. Yellow shirts everywhere. It's hard to find a gap right now. U.S. go again. Camerly. Win. Cecil. Skips it over to Alvarez. Maxwell. Always a second player for Colombia doubling down.
You can see early on with McGrew out wide on the right, Maxwell on the left, one of their pressing triggers. As soon as that ball goes wide, players immediately reading that. And you're right, the second player is immediately right in behind covering.
Torres clears. Cecil will head it down. Camerly finds the handle. Strawn, good first touch into the 18. The cross in the 6. What a save coming across from Ospina. Still there for the U.S. Win. Cuts back. Camerly finds Maxwell. Can't turn the corner. U.S. will get the deep throw. Ospina had to scramble there, but got back across.
That quality of a touch by McGrew there to get around the edge. Good service in. Really good opportunity there for the U.S.
Boma. Alvarez drops it back. Cecil picks out Camerly. It's out wide to Strawn. This time into the 6 again before it's canceled out by Villafara. Corner for the U.S. Sealy Strawn, the North Carolina product, starting to make a difference out wide on the right. Alvarez to take, outswinger from the far side. Cleared away by Laboa. And now the U.S. will have to reset. Good one down the right. Moving from right to left, Boma. Win. Cecil. Skipped underneath the foot of Lily Joseph. Counter pressure quickly forces the turnover for the U.S. Win. Maxwell stays with it. Win ducked her head trying to get on that. That's going to go against the U.S. A free kick for Colombia, and they can take a breath. A lot of defending for Las Cafeteras, but they look pretty comfortable in it so far.
Yeah, I mean, they seem pretty composed, pretty organized. They understand kind of what they're looking for, when they're shifting together, how they're moving as a group, and even as small units, spaces that they're cutting out. They're doing a really good job of staying organized.
Arboleda intercepted by McGrew. Camerly flicked, blocked, still there. Shot easy for Ospina. It's the composure from Colombia that I'm most impressed with, because you see teams, especially at the youth national team level, when they have to defend for these long sequences, lose that composure a little bit, but Colombia seems comfortable.
Yeah, you're absolutely right. I mean, they're collapsing really well, whether we're playing the ball out wide or even we're finding Sealy and Maxwell into these half spaces, the interior channels, and they're doing a really good job of kind of collapsing down, whether it's the outside back coming forward as well as the midfielder.
So 14th minute, I think we have a pretty good sense of how this one's going to play out as Colombia gets into the attacking half, but offside. When you know you're going up against a team like this that's going to sit back and commit to defending, how do you want your team to attack that? Is it change of pace? Is it interchange? Is it change in shape? Is it kind of feeling it out?
Yeah, it's finding what works. I mean, sometimes you're really trying to kind of read, and especially an opponent like Colombia, of what are they trying to do and what opportunities are available to them. So I think if they're able to find Sealy as well as Maxwell into those half spaces with quick support underneath, it might give an opportunity for a third-man combination for those wide players to be played in behind.
Yeah, we've seen the two-player combos so far. We haven't seen the third player yet for the U.S. We can start to pull that off. Camerly. Maxwell wants it. Cuts in. Still on it. Got back to Joseph. Now Alvarez. Cecil quickly through. McGrew will find it out wide. Strong challenge. Colombia win it back, but turned over. Martinez cleans that up. U.S. wins it back again, and they'll get a free kick in the attacking third. Audrey McKean from Racing Louisville earns that free kick. Dangerous spot here, basically like a short corner. Alvarez will go across to take it.
Audrey's a player from Thursday that as soon as she was subbed in, helped change the tempo for the U.S. So we're really looking forward to Audrey and kind of making those differences as soon as she gets on the pitch, but also just gets on the ball.
Alvarez to deliver. Maxwell header wide. U20 World Cup coming up in Poland in September. Both of these teams, and England, who's playing friendlies here in Georgia, preparing for that. Getting down to the last roster decisions, how much does that weigh on the players in a game like this where some are still trying to make the squad?
Yeah, it has to. It definitely has to. And obviously, probably every player, if you ask them, would love to play 90 minutes for both games just to be seen. But I think knowing that some of these players, you're getting limited minutes, and these are the only opportunities that you have to kind of prove yourself right before the roster's made, I think this definitely weighs into a player's mentality as they're playing this match today.
Juana Ortegon called for the foul, the Colombian captain. Plays for Independiente Santa Fe. Played in the last U20 World Cup. Boma. A little heavy on the pass intended for McKean. Jimena Ospina. Looking for Laboa. Cecil fights through it to win the header. Win up the right side, McGrew. McKean tried to get a touch. It's still alive for the U.S. Inside the arc, drifting to the right, Joseph has McGrew. McGrew trying to get through on the edge of the 18. No call. Thoughts?
That was a tough one. I definitely think there's a bit of an obstruction into her run. So I think a tough one maybe for a referee to call, but definitely one that I think he should be thinking about.
Yeah, 18th minute, maybe you're having a different thought about that than in the 68th minute.
Had we had VAR,
Nah,
that might be called back.
We're not certified for that, so we can't help on that regard. It's a tricky one. Alvarez. Camerly went up for it and commits the foul. Isabella Diaz. She had 2 goals in the Sudamericano hexagonal qualifier where Colombia needed help on the last day to get the final spot out of South America for the U20 World Cup. This is their first game of 2 here in Georgia. They'll play England on Wednesday. Maxwell. Camerly stood up initially, but keeps possession. Cecil. Nice turn from Wynn. It deflects. Played through too much on that for Camerly. Feels like in a game like this, too, where Colombia is going to sit back so deep, your center backs are going to have a lot of the ball, and the U.S. is blessed to have two in Boma and Cecil who are so comfortable with the ball and carrying it forward.
Yeah, it definitely helps as you're kind of probing and playing into the midfield. If they feel like they can't turn and can't play forward, you're having two center backs that are staying engaged. They understand the distance between them and the midfielders, and you're able to kind of relieve pressure by always playing back.
Boma knocks it down. Camerly to Win. Alvarez. Boma. Got stuck under her feet a little bit there. Cecil Laboa takes it away. What a recovery from Cecil.
Great defending there. Even Boma coming in, kind of coming underneath, just as cover, delaying a bit, and then finding the right times to go in and step in and win it.
Alvarez back to Boma. I always feel like that's one of the keys with the youth national teams is mistakes will happen. It's how you recover from them. That was excellent from both Cecil and Boma. Pearl Cecil, a veteran of the youth national team program, played at the U17 World Cup last year. Now at the University of Virginia. Foul called. Ortegon upended. It's been another one of the storylines, I think, for the U.S. youth national team development is now you're getting more age groups filled out, more experience. When players come into camp, a lot of times they've been in a national team camp at some point, and it's just that much more comfortable for them to settle in.
Yeah, I think one of the initiatives of U.S. soccer is really trying to fully program our youth national teams to give them as many camps as possible, but really how do we expose them to the international game more often, going over whether it's an international trip just to have some friendlies or creating some competitions to give them the idea of what it feels like to represent your country in meaningful matches.
Wynn trying to find it. Cut back. At the penalty spot, goal! Goal! Goal, Colombia. Silva with the goal, Mariana Silva. The cutback was excellent, and Colombia, in one of their first forays into the attacking third, get the opening goal.
I think U.S. is going to be a little frustrated on that one for obvious reasons, but really you start to see those space in between that front line and how far back they're recovering and helping defend with that midfield line, and that player really just kind of stayed in between kind of the two lines, find that pocket around the top of the D, and great ball back and really good finish.
Catalina Cortez with the assist from America de Cali, and just finding Silva in that perfect spot at the penalty spot. So for the U.S., you've had a ton of the ball. You've had really the game played in the half where you want to be, and now something goes against you. What's the message here?
Stay disciplined, I think, for sure. I mean, again, these matches are here to help them to be able to prepare for the bigger matches later down the road, and you kind of want these games to be able to understand what your team has and what individual players have in terms of resilience. How are they going to fight? How are they going to respond? This is a moment just like that they had against England of how does this group respond? They've done a good job of keeping possession, although with the lower line of confrontation Colombia's has at the moment, it's kind of giving the U.S. a bit more of the possession, but it's really trying to, how do you break them down? How do you get in behind? You might start to see the positioning of McGrew and Maxwell maybe come a bit deeper so that you can pin their outside backs a bit higher up the field and create some different type of spaces, whether they're getting in, maybe it's a midfielder or a forward getting into that space, so maybe just some differences of positioning to be able to create some different spaces.
You're never going to ask for this as a coach. You don't want to fall behind, but I agree with you so much on figuring out what you have and figuring out who you have player-wise in these situations, especially going into a World Cup here in a couple months. You're going to have adversity no matter what, and you need to see how a group can handle it.
Yeah, especially goalkeepers.
Yeah.
Right? So depending on what happens in a game and how a goalkeeper gets scored on, I think that's also one of how do they continue to lead their team? What is their body language like? How confident are they immediately after a goal's been scored? I mean, you need players to continually to show up consistently, no matter what happens in the game.
Burkle, the first shot that she's seen, gets past her. Really not much she could do on that. It's a great cutback and a great finish. And it's how does the U.S. come out of the hydration break and respond? We're going to find out here as we get into the 25th minute. Colombia will definitely take a lot of momentum away from that. They've done the job that they intended to do in the first portion of the first half. They defended well, and when they got forward, they were efficient. Bowman to Alvarez.
There you see the deeper positioning.
Becomes a bit of a chess match now. Alvarez tried to flick that forward to Maxwell. Biafra. Boma wins it in front of Diaz. Boma tries to open it up. Colombia win it. U.S. will get the throw. Camerly fouled by Laboa. Nice turn from Joseph. Maxwell. Low cross near post, canceled out. Quicker there from the U.S.
It's a great pass in there, breaking the lines. Again, we talked about trying to find players in that interior channel into the half space, which then quickly opened up that outside pass into the wide channel.
Maxwell trying to win it back. It's Alvarez. Camerly, great flick, win. McGrew, long run, can't save it. Final ball around the 18 in the attacking third, just not quite connecting yet. Cortez back to Torres. Popped out wide. McGrew can't quite get there. Just a little bit too much on that one from Strawn. Colombia, though, stepped up a little bit higher that time, left some spaces. Laboa commits the foul, trying to get to the spot. Quickly taken. Camerly to Maxwell. Maxwell with the right foot, just wide. Kylie Maxwell looking for the equalizer, cutting inside, just pulls it slightly wide.
And that's the idea, the quick restarts, not letting Colombia get back, get compact, and if you can find some quick spaces, kind of catch them as they're still getting organized, you might be able to find a good opportunity. And cutting inside there, Maxwell found a really good shot there, just a little bit wide there.
The 2025 ACC Freshman of the Year at Wake Forest. Back to Burkle. Columbia will step up here. McGrew. Foul called. Something that the Colombian women's teams do so well is they don't step up high like you mentioned early on, but when they do, they finish plays. If they don't win that, it's going to be a foul, and you're not going to break.
Yep, they are committed. They're committed to when they're recognizing a moment to press, but also recognizing a moment of when they are going forward, of putting numbers forward, and then using that energy of they're going to, as soon as if they do lose possession, they're going to be all over that ball of really trying to swarm and not let the counterattack happen against them.
Cecil to Burkle. High line for Columbia. See if the U.S. want to test that. Win. Strong. Cecil. Combinations don't fully connect, but the U.S. are back on it. McKean. Alvarez will find it. Grab from behind. Alvarez had broken through. Diaz commits the foul. An interesting one here. Edge of the attacking, third wide to the left. I feel like these are the angles you're starting to see more and more dangerous opportunities come from set pieces.
This is why these games are so valuable. To recreate this in a training session, in a training setting is really, really difficult. Obviously, the defense knows exactly what the offense is going to do, but in these games, you get an opportunity to really try.
Alvarez, good ball to Boma. Just wide.
Incredible service there. I think Boma's going to be thinking about that one because she might have closed her eyes. I'm not really sure, but yeah, what a great service into her head. Just needed a little bit of redirection.
Haven Alvarez has taken most of the set pieces so far today. Really impressed with the delivery. Headed back by Cardona. Arboleda can't save it, throw U.S. Boma back to Cecil. Wynn tries to send McGrew through, takes a deflection. Alvarez will take the corner. Everyone back for Columbia. Right hand in the air from Alvarez. Volley attempt blocked. Still alive. Strawn. Cuts to the left. The cut back deflects wide. Sealy Strawn able to find a little bit of space on the left side, and her cut back found a teammate but couldn't redirect on frame.
It's good work done by Strawn. Just the composure. I thought she was going to shoot it early there.
Same.
ends up cutting it back to the left, but really good ball that she puts across.
Short goal kick. Torres up to Diaz, no foul. Boma wins it back. Camerly. Strawn starting to become a little more influential, getting on the ball a little bit more. Finding that pocket of space inside. Alvarez cuts in. Camerly. Too much on that one, intended for McGrew. It's been about 10 minutes since the goal. How would you rate the response from the U.S.?
Yeah, I think it's been good. I think they don't look too rattled. You see, even Boma, you can see a little bit of her intensity of moments of trying to regain possession and do what she can in her position. So I think as a whole and as a unit, I'd be happy if I were in the coach's position right now of kind of good response, especially going into halftime if it stays this way.
Wynn steps up with pressure. Arboleda up the line. Back to her. She'll send it, but Boma steps in front of Diaz. McGrew will run it down. Burkle. Nice turn from Wynn. Strawn. Great through ball. A great recovery as well from Mercedes Martinez. Laboa down to Diaz. Here comes Colombia. Looking for Laboa. Can't get her right foot on it. Flag was up as well. They don't break out in numbers often, but it feels like whenever they do, they're dangerous.
Those are the moments you're really trying to control, knowing that's what Colombia is looking for as soon as they regain possession, to be able to go in numbers. Really try to delay their cutting off any passing channel that they can. Cecil almost had that ball interception right there, but lucky not to get a good foot on that from Colombia.
Alvarez forward to Joseph. Boma to Wynn, her teammate at Stanford. Looking for Joseph, not on the same page. Cortez. McGrew has that handled. Strawn will run onto it. They can't turn the corner. Laboa will draw the foul in the attacking half. Martinez to Ortegon. Great ball from Ortegon. Torres. Deep to the backside. Silva. McGrew stands her up. Strawn. Wynn. That yellow card. It was a very smart foul from Diaz, but we've seen that a few times in transition. And persistent infringement gets the yellow for Diaz.
Wynn has had an incredible first half. I think it's probably a little underrated if people are watching. I think just her, again, her composure and being able to find small pockets of space. Body shape has been good, so ability of when she can turn and face up and play forward, she does, but also just helps us move and circulate the ball from one side of the field to the other.
It feels like with that first touch, she's able to play at a little bit different speed. McKean will draw the foul. So a little bit further back and more inside than the set piece that Alvarez found Boma on earlier. Boma deep to the right. Alvarez will deliver again. Alvarez, the top of the 6. Ospina came out bravely to punch that one away. Has to pop back up. The whistle comes because a Colombian defender was down. Ospina had gotten back up, and she goes back down. Brave goalkeeping from Jimena Ospina. But the defender in front might have paid the price.
That was well done, though.
Yeah.
For a U20 goalkeeper and being able to come out brave in traffic, knowing that she's going to create some contact, whether it's going to be on her or even her teammate, comes out, does the job that she needs to. Well done.
40th minute, 2 Colombian players down. It's good delivery from Alvarez again to force that kind of reaction. It's Ortegon who's now sitting up. Ospina, in getting her fist to that, caught her defender Ortegon. We'll see if they'll both be able to continue. I want to go back to Elon Wynn because we talked about her a little bit before we started, and then I agree with you. I think she's been so good in that holding midfield, being able to get you out of trouble and just circulate the ball so quickly. What else has stood out to you about her?
Yeah, I think just her ability to play off of other players. I think she sees the game in advance and can recognize maybe where the ball needs to be moved to. You could tell that she's always scanning. So a 360 player is kind of what we call that, of just being able to kind of always understand where the opponents are, maybe where the ball can move next, and always seems like she's in a really good supporting role to be able to connect the play.
I feel like we're talking about scanning more than we ever have in the past. You know, it comes up with Lionel Messi. I think it comes up a lot with Sam Coffey. That's something that stands out to me about her game. Explain that for people who are listening and maybe their kids play, and scanning is one of those new buzzwords.
Yeah, I mean, you talk about it, it's almost any time that you can scan, you do, because it's about the picture always changes, right? So it's understanding of where, again, your teammates are in relationship to where the opponent is and where the ball is, and where can you best find the advantages, whether it's understanding space, maybe it's a numerical advantage. And so players that can always just take little mental pictures before they receive it, when they have the chance of possibly receiving it as the ball's traveling in, and always then understanding now that their decision-making is based off of the small pictures they've taken that entire time.
Drop ball back to the U.S. McGrew. Strawn, quickly from Strawn. Took a deflection, corner. Ortegon back in. .43rd minute. Colombia lead 1-0. Alvarez volleyed away, but not out. And the shot is sent over the bar, leaning back. Lily Joseph unable to get over it. Seems like every ball that Alvarez is putting in, though, is creating some chaos.
Definitely some dangerous services.
Mm-hmm. Ospina. Silva tried to flick. Loboa does force Cecil to play that one out. Arboleda with the throw. Diaz will draw the foul. So a set piece opportunity here for Las Cafeteras. Similar to the last couple the U.S. have gotten in that 35 to 40 yard range. Diaz will take it. Going on frame, Diaz just over the bar. Camerly to Cecil. Now Boma. Camerly back to the right. McGrew gets past one, gets tripped up. Strawn wanted to take that one quickly. Silva did enough to prevent that. Cecil. McKean. Corner. Heading into stoppage time. We'll play 4 more.
The referee has added 4 minutes of stoppage time. 4 minutes of stoppage time.
Alvarez. Strawn volleys it. Deflection on the back post, wide.
Again, very good service.
Service has been excellent from Alvarez. That one was straight from the training ground. Sealy Strawn going full volley. Spina. Maxwell able to knock it down. It's been a lot from the right side lately from the U.S. They go back there looking for McGrew. Strawn will block it. Now McGrew. Strawn into the 18. Oh, Spina gets on it. McGrew and Strawn are forming quite the duo on that right side. Just can't quite find the breakthrough. Boma. Over 2 minutes left in stoppage time in the first half. Win. Alvarez up the line to Maxwell. Joseph. Boma. Cecil. Win comes up a little short this time, intercepted by Silva. One right back by the U.S. Boma. Alvarez cuts inside. Again. Colombia collapses well on Alvarez. Cecil will carry it forward. Now McGrew. Silva back to defend. McGrew. Win. Her cross. Headed down by Martinez. Run-on shot blocked. Overhead volley saved by Ospina.
As Colombia's lines get so compact, especially how deep U.S. has been attacking, you see players start to check into the passing channels, and especially in those moments, you're trying to break as many lines as possible. And so you might start to even see Vicky, Coach Jepson, as she talks at halftime of if we can find and break the lines even higher up the field of making sure that we're not cutting off all of our passing channels to be able to do that.
Colombia trying to take away every bit of space, and the U.S. have to try to manufacture some space. Diaz will run onto it. Into the 18. Couldn't find Laboa. Silva. Alvarez tries to clear. That's blocked by Ortegon. Boma will clear. McKean. Can't she turn the corner? What a tackle.
Well timed.
Biafra times that one perfectly. Maybe one more chance for the U.S. if they can go quickly, and they can't go quickly enough. Colombia with the 1-0 lead at halftime. Thoughts on that 45?
Yeah, I think it was a really good 45. It's probably what we expected of a bit of grittiness on both sides, and Colombia really picking and choosing the right moments of when they're going to go forward. I think the U.S. has really got to start to talk about, as Colombia does find those opportunities to transition, of tracking those players that are coming in. At times they're kind of throwing more numbers forward, almost pinning and matching up man for man a little bit on our back line. So our defensive midfielders are really going to come in key in those moments of tracking players that are also coming in. On the attacking side, I think it's really, again, talking about how do you move them out of spaces, the spaces that you're trying to get into. We're playing right now with 2 defensive midfielders, and I'd like to see maybe that they're playing off of each other a bit more. Maybe you talk about midfield rotation of our attacking midfielder kind of coming back in so that one of our defensive midfielders can kind of get a bit higher. You're just trying to pull them out of pockets of space, and right now if we just sit in our lines, they're just sitting there with us. So it's really trying to kind of move them with our positioning.
We'll talk about some things to watch for in the second 45. Would expect some changes as well, with both coaches wanting to see as many players as possible in these friendlies as they get ready for the U20 World Cup coming up in September. Mariana Silva's goal is the difference. Colombia leads 1-0. We'll take the break, and we'll be back here in a bit with second half action from Fayetteville.
Okay, yeah, perfect. Sí, que hay 7 minutos.
Welcome back to Fayetteville, Georgia. U20 Women's International, Colombia leading 1-0 over the U.S. on the road to the Women's World Cup at the U20 level in September. Alongside Morgan Church and Jason Longshore. Let's talk about what we've seen so far and what you'd like to see be different for the U.S. I think they've dominated where the game's being played. They haven't found the breakthrough. A lot of subs coming. What would your instructions be to them?
Yeah, I think use the fresh legs for sure, and I think the players that are being subbed in at the moment, I think will give some of that naturally just because of the players that they are, but really like to just see more interchange, just some movement, to be able to move them out of their block a bit, trying to find some spaces, whether it's in between lines or whether it's out wide, but really trying to break them down early, but also in the moments where they can go at them to do that.
Let's kick it for 45 more from the Arthur M. Blank U.S. Soccer National Training Center in Fayetteville. U.S. down the flank. Good cross in. Can't get the shot off at the top of the 6. Header. That's comfortable for Ospina. Whole bunch of subs for both teams. We'll kind of catch them as we go. But for the U.S., definitely some fresh legs in the attack with Sedano and with Garnero. U.S. will reset back to Burkle.
Substitutions for Team USA. Now playing the game, number 4.
Long ball down the right side to Katie Scott. Arboleda gets her head to it. Scott blocks the clearance. And Scott is down in the corner.
Number 13, Katie Scott. And number 15, Zoe Matthews.
It'll be a free kick for the U.S. Really good start for the U.S. getting opportunities straight out of the gate.
Sedano and Bard now in the game.
So after the set piece, we'll kind of reset how the U.S. is looking. We'll get the Colombian subs as well. But another opportunity for Alvarez from a dead ball situation. Alvarez deep to the backside, gets through everybody. Wynn will run it down. Scott. Headed down, but not out. Cross back in. Wynn with the left foot. Kick save. Ospina able to kick it out. Elon Wynn nearly levels it for the U.S.
I really like that ball from Katie Scott. Just the texture, put in the right weight, right into Wynn's run. Creates a really good opportunity eventually for the U.S.
Sofia Sedano will leave it. Alvarez will take it quickly. Sedano cuts it back, flicks it through just behind the intended target of Gamero. And a goal kick for Colombia. So a lot of fresh legs for the U.S. Colombia with a couple of subs as well. We'll see how this settles in for the U.S., but we were talking about it during the break. Katie Scott, you saw it on the quality ball there over the top. What does she bring to this group at right back?
Yeah, it's a player that's explosive. You'll see quickly she likes to go forward. She'll probably find herself going forward most of the half and being able to, whether it's the midfield kind of covering in her space, but she creates, and she's a handful to deal with.
Nearly saves that one, Scott. With the KC current. Scott was a captain in the U15s in CONCACAF competition. Laboa swings it to the opposite side, but nobody home. So new center backs for the U.S., Ella Bard and Zoe Matthews. Bard on the ball now. Matthews. Overhit, trying to open things up to the left. Matthews, back to Burkle. '50th minute. Wynn tries to turn, but closed down quickly. Through ball looking for the goal scorer, Silva. Bard has to run that down. Nice work from Ella Bard. Arboleda. Wynn helps win that back for the U.S. Free kick, United States. So we've talked a lot about the U.S. side of things. Let's talk about Colombia and Carlos Paniagua. How would you rate how Colombia has been able to do what we're pretty sure they came in intending to do?
Yeah, I think really from the first half, based on what we had thought in their identity, I think they really executed it well. It created a lot of good opportunities in transition. Defensively, they've stayed compact, pretty disciplined, and haven't really given the U.S. much to be able to do and even play in between the lines. So I think from a Colombia standpoint, pretty good first half, and now as they start to sub and get some newer legs in, but some different players, really trying to just keep that same mentality going into the second half.
Yeah, the structure, I think the national team level, it can be challenging, and you know this far better than me about players coming and going and trying to build a culture and build a game profile. Colombia feels like they've played together a lot.
Yeah, I was thinking the same thing. It can be difficult depending on how often you have camps. I'm not really sure what Colombia's periodization for the year looks like, but it can be difficult because they're going back to their clubs and whatever style or whatever responsibility, and sometimes whatever position they play for the club is definitely different than the national team setting. But you can see that here, definitely consistency.
McKean with a nice turn into the 18. Can't find the angle for the shot yet. McGovern. Bard. Matthews up the left side. Cross, back post. Scott was lurking. Headed back to Bard. Scott again. Slips the pass through. McGovern into the 6. It's still alive, and Colombia's able to clear. U.S. keep the pressure on. Getting to the end line, driven in, trying to find the handle, gets help defensively. Ospina did enough, but the U.S. will reload again. Camero. McKean right at Ospina. Maybe it wasn't textbook that time from Ospina, but she has had quite the game in goal for Colombia. Alvarez heads it down. Wynn intervenes. Matthews commits the foul. So Colombia get a set piece in the attacking half. Six changes for the U.S. at halftime. Bard, McGovern, Sedano, Gamero, Scott, and Matthews. Kind of across all the different position groups. We'll see how quickly they can get settled. Set piece here. Scott blocks the first one. Flag goes up on the far side. Nice turn from Laboa, even though it didn't matter, puts it off the post. Nice intervention from Colombia with the interception. Arboleda. Matthews able to knock that one down. Scott up the right side. Strawn. McGovern. Gamero. Sedano with the cut back. Strawn shot blocked. Counter pressure trying to win it back. They do. McKean, it's deflected straight up. Scott with the turn off the bar. Knocking on the door, kicking the door. Everything possible, but the U.S. can't find the equalizer yet.
I love that bit of possession from the U.S. I mean, you could see everything there of just a lot of good interchange, recognizing the moments, even connecting small passes centrally to be able to keep the space open out wide, switching the point of attack, driving, and then slotting those balls and trying to find the numbers right in front of the goal into the gold zone. But really good possession there and good look early in the second half for the U.S.
Scott steps up, heavily involved straight away, Scott. Bard gets pulled back. Free kick, U.S. Matthews. Zoe Matthews with a heavy touch. Laboa. Burkle makes the first save, has to get back on it as Laboa was ready for that rebound. U.S. want to flip the field quickly. Scott. McKean going to give chase. Earns the throw. McKean from Sedano. Strawn. McGovern drops it back. Wynn will move it over to the left. Alvarez. Gamero. Big tackle. Well timed. Columbia will just clear. Feels more urgent, more direct from the U.S. here in the second half.
Yeah, I was just thinking the same thing. It's really good tempo. I think especially finding the moments of can you go forward, can you exploit space, do you have numbers? Definitely in that last possession, you could feel that and sense that from the U.S.
Alvarez to Matthews, 58th minute now. Great ball to Scott. Slips it through to Strawn. Back to Scott. Bard. McGovern. Alvarez. Matthews. McGovern to Bard. Now Scott. Blocked by Arboleda.
You can already see the shift in the positioning from the defensive midfielders. They're kind of playing slightly on a different line, but at least showing in some different gaps and pockets so that it's actually drawing in midfielders, which is then opening up space out wide. So they're starting to be able to overload. Again, you start to see more third-man combination opportunities, which hopefully would lead to more goal-scoring opportunities for the U.S.
Torres able to clear that one for Columbia. Yeah, Peyton McGovern is really finding pockets of space with her movement. Bard to Alvarez. Gamero. McKean. Did keep that one in, but Ospina has it under control. Wynn, physical to take that off of Laboa. Scott. Off the back of Arboleda. Scott goes in and wins it, gets it back. Advantage played. Strawn trying to turn to the outside. Sedano in the corner. Back to McGovern. Strawn stays down. I think we'll get the whistle there. The play never opened up for the U.S. It feels like it's coming for the U.S. It feels different here in the second 45. Just haven't found the opening yet.
Yeah, and I think we had the stat of really just final third ball entries and kind of where those opportunities have come from. I think the difference from the first half to the second half is you can see there's more promising opportunities out of just the ball movement and interchange and even player movement in the second half. Different level of energy for sure.
Urgency and turning games around. It's something that we've seen all summer long in the World Cup. It's something that you have to find a way to be able to do it, to get deep in a tournament. You've got to be able to rescue things. It feels like this group is showing at least the feeling you need to do that.
These games, especially the two opponents they have this week, just two different opponents, played completely different styles, but I think gives the U.S. the opportunity to be able to really prepare, and it gives Coach Jepsen the opportunity to really see her players against two different opponents that give two different completely problems to solve. So I think it gives a nice variety going into her decision of making the roster, but also into the players' opportunity going into the World Cup.
When you start with the roster construction for a World Cup, and you know you're going to face different kinds of teams and face different challenges, you know, how important is it to have a game like this where you've got to see your team turn a result around in the second 45?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, you feel pressure today, but it's nothing like what they're going to feel once they step foot in Poland in September. So it's important. Obviously, you're in home soil and home field advantage here at NTC Training Center, and I think these games give that opportunity, but it's important to be able to kind of see how they respond in these moments to give you a little bit of an opportunity for Coach Jepsen to see how those players might respond in much bigger moments.
Isabel Wiener checks in for Columbia. Plays at Columbia University in the Ivy League. Was a big part of that qualifying campaign. Left her college team to play really most of the spring in the Sudamericano to get qualified. Matthews over to Alvarez. McKean definitely moving more here in the second 45. The interchange of positions is definitely starting to work better for the U.S. Great little flick. McGovern back to Matthews. Bard, Win. Taken away by Silva. Miss hit from Ortegon. As the night's gone on, Mariana Silva has the goal for Colombia, but I'm becoming more and more impressed with her defensively in that central midfield. Colombia's number 10 has had a lot of defending to do, and she's done a good job with it. Here comes the U.S. Past Ortegon. Here's Win. Arboleda sends that one away. Matthews, great ball to Scott. Good to see Strawn back on, cutting inside. Can't find the pass. Bard to Scott. Couldn't turn it. Cleared by Villafara. Silva. Fouled by Scott. Colombia gets a chance to slow down the pace, which has been turning frantic. Torres. 3 more subs coming for the U.S. Martinez, Arboleda, blocked by Scott. We'll get the subs now for the U.S. Alex Buck, Hope Munson, and Addison Halpern all checking in. McKean, Wynn, and Alvarez are subbing out. Alex Buck going up top, had a breakout sophomore season at Washington with 9 goals, 5 assists.
Number 22, Addison Halpern.
Free kick, Colombia.
Halpern, Munson, and Buck. Now in the game for Team USA.
Ortegon down the left side. Knocked away from Arboleda. Ortegon with a big necessary tackle for Colombia. Silva unable to keep that one. Cedeno draws the foul. Savviness from Ortegon to slow everything down. Driven over the top, looking for Buck. Ospina will get on it. I think that's another aspect of playing teams that come up with a lot of players in the professional game is, yeah, some of the gamesmanship that maybe we don't see in the college game as much. You get an experience with it here. U.S. forces the turnover. Halpern. Swinging arm. Accidental from Arboleda, but it's going to be a free kick. Strawn had taken a couple of hits and gets the foul this time. And this is a dangerous one on the edge of the 18. So with Alvarez out, Scott will take over set piece duties. Two-player wall. 2 defenders at the top of the 6. Scott plays it into the open space, shot wide. Colombia wasn't sure what was coming, and that was a well-worked set piece to find Bard, but her shot was just wide.
I was wondering if they were going to be able to take advantage of that space with the deeper zone defending there, being able to play it right in between that space.
It's like I didn't want to say it. I didn't want to jinx it, but
same.
like that looks really enticing right there, all that open space. Bard nearly leveled it. Cedeno, great turn. McGovern. Bard. Matthews. Bard to Strawn. Can't connect with Munson. Buck. Halpern gets all the way through. Scott over on the left now. Rides off the challenge. Scott's cross. Header right at Ospina. Addison Halpern with the header from the cross from Scott. But Ospina with another save. Scott knocks it down for Zoe Matthews. Burkle. Halpern able to turn, and Silva closed her down. Matthews. Back to the right. Hope Munson. Strawn, back heel, Munson into the 18. Cut back, blocked. Buck will flick it towards Cedeno, but it's cleared.
Good creativity there, though. I like the idea. Good movement off the ball.
Celie Strawn has been so impressive to me. I love how creative she is on the ball.
Just a workhorse as well.
Yeah. She's taking a lot of hits here in the second half, but making a lot of things happen as well. Now we'll take us to the hydration break as we go into the 71st minute. So the urgency there, the pace of play there, what's missing for the U.S.?
It's the finishing. It's the same thing that we kind of talked about on Thursday of although I believe the U.S. has created better opportunities and chances in this game than they did even against England. But I think that final piece of you're getting the ball in the right spots, probably the same spaces and areas and zones that they train day in and day out in camp, but it's now that final piece of how do they put the ball in the back of the net.
So Scott's moved over to the left. We saw her right back to start. We were talking about it when we saw that she was coming in. Just how important is it to have a player like Katie Scott with that professional experience in this group? Yeah,
you can see it. I mean, we talked a little bit about Colombia and their gamesmanship, but you can see that piece out of Katie Scott. I mean, just the way that she plays and just has a little bit more of a professionalism, and when she goes into tackles, understands tempo. We talked about her and her ability to be able to go forward, but also her competitiveness and what she can bring to the defensive side. She reads the game really well, intercepts passes well, and is really good in even 1v1 duels defensively. She's a ball winner. So it's definitely someone you want on the field, whether she's playing in the midfield, whether she's playing in the back line. Very versatile player and a game changer, in my opinion, for the U.S.
That's one of the things that the increased number of camps and the increased number of the different age groups, getting the professional players interacting with players in the youth academies or at colleges with this group, it feels like that mix is going to rub off. And as more players get the opportunity in professional academies or under professional contracts, I feel like the player profile starts to change a little bit for the U.S.
Yeah, I mean, we've had stories already here with the men's side of just a pathway, and when you have camps that are even overlapping or happening at the same time, of being able to quickly move and shift players from literally one field to the next field is something exciting that all the teams here have the chance to be able to do and recreate. Also, just to be able to watch and see teams compete, and maybe someone that's sitting in the same positional profile as yourself, and being able to see their qualities and how they play their position in relation to how you play yours. So I think it gives that opportunity here with the Arthur M. Blank Training Center.
Keely Titmus checking in goal, the 19-year-old from Penn State, and Michaela Johnson from the Chicago Stars checks in. She'll take up the right wing for the U.S. Actually had a chance on the men's side to talk to some of the Atlanta United players who were here in U19 camp, and they were talking about watching the men's senior team getting ready for a World Cup and how that rubbed off on them. Having all the interaction here in Fayetteville is going to be big. Munson. It's been electric since checking in, drops it back.
Number 12.
Johnson. Bard, big switch to Scott.
Number 7, Michaela Johnson. Titmus in goal.
McGovern.
Johnson.
Matthews.
Now in the game.
Knocked down by Gamero. It's Columbia looking for some help now. Arboleda. Bard pops it forward to Johnson. '74th minute. Mariana Silva's goal still holding up for Columbia, 1-0. McGovern to Munson. Munson around the inside. Cross. Ospina there again. Hope Munson is relentless running at players and making things happen on this right side. Munson gets her head to it, back to Scott. Back to Titmus. Bard. Halpern to Matthews. Great ball forward. Up the left side, Gamero. Cuts in. Cross back post. Munson can't get around on it. Just a little bit too much on the cross. We had an incident off the ball behind the play. That's going to come back and get a yellow card to Silva. Silva and Halpern had a little bit of a collision.
See a little bit of jersey pull on Halpern.
Great communication from our ref crew. Justin Higgins in the middle today. Tyler Bost and Mustafa Mashoud are your assistant referees, and Christopher Haggerty, the fourth official, helping out with that sequence. Titmus gets her right foot to it and had to. Laboa nearly rounded the corner. Martinez. Obregon. Arboleda. Silva. Nice work to keep it for Colombia. Back to Mercedes Martinez. Scott wins it. Plays it forward. Great first time ball from Scott. Gamero. Cedeno. Couldn't find the pass through for Johnson. Obregon. Dispossessed, but it falls to a teammate. Back to Obregon. Arboleda. Pressure from Johnson forces Arboleda to just send it. 77th minute. Halpern to Scott. Buck. Scott. McGovern. Halpern. Gamero. Driving on Yeka. Drop back. Long range shot just wide. Ospina thought that was going well wide and then had to try to scramble.
Would love to see U.S. as they switch that ball back to Onyeka's side. They had an overload here on the right side if they could possibly find one of the and connect one of those passes. Good opportunity there created by Onyeka, but still believe that they might have been able to get in and create even better opportunity on this right side.
It's always that balancing act when you get late in a game and you're chasing it. Do you settle for the first opportunity you can create, or do you find a better one? Be a throw for Colombia on the far side.
It's that balance between staying urgent but also being patient at the same time.
Mm-hmm. And you need both, but it's not easy to be both at the same time. Laboa taken away. Scott. Johnson couldn't quite turn. Arboleda. Martinez, pressure from Johnson. Matthews will win it at midfield. Flag up on the far side. I think it was the Colombian player coming back from an offside position. They'll play on. Matthews. McGovern. Halpern. Johnson tucking inside. Munson making the run. Johnson will go the other way. Cedeno back to Johnson. Gamero now, edge of the 18, on the right foot. Buck trying to get to it. Collision in the box, no call. Bard. Halpern up the right side. Drop back to Bard. Bard deep to the back post. Buck with the header down wide. Alex Buck gives you that big target as a number 9. Bard picks her out that time, and the header is close, but not quite there. Ospina will send it away. Laboa. Taken away, Halpern. Not quite on the same page with McGovern, but time to find it. Matthews looking for Johnson. Martinez heads it away. Bard back to Matthews. Michaela Johnson flipping the field. Munson. Low looking for Johnson, cleared. McGovern thought Halpern was closer. Arboleda. Silva. Throw Colombia. Subs coming for Colombia. Eliana Agudelo checking in, along with Valentino Rojas, both from Independiente Medellin. Laboa and the goal scorer Silva check out. So fresh legs up top for Colombia and in the middle. It's a throw, and Arboleda has to hurry.
Substitution for Team Colombia.
Bard helps win it. McGovern to Scott. 82nd minute now. 1-0 Colombia.
Rojas.
Munson blocked by Arboleda.
And number 18, Eliana Agudelo.
Martinez will volley that one back into the middle. Matthews tried to step up and win it. U.S. do come away with it. Halpern. Gamero. Halpern. Scott. Bard. Matthews and Bard. Low for Buck. Wanting to turn. Does. Cut back. A good one. First time shot blocked at the top of the 6. Alex Buck making some space inside the 18. Nearly created the first goal for the U.S.
The fact she could get her hips turned on that cross.
I didn't think she could. So quick to get on it. Scott Cedeno. Halpern. Now Hope Munson. Johnson in front of her. Munson will take advantage. Cuts in. Left-footed shot. Deflected wide. Corner U.S. Scott hurries over to take it. Zoe Matthews deep on the back post. Scott sends it. Almost found Matthews. Colombia will clear. Munson to Halpern. Complaints about the throw. We play on. Cedeno. Bard. Matthews. McGovern. Back to Zoe Matthews. McGovern again. Scott. Crossed in, doesn't get to Johnson.
That's that ball. If you can swing it around here, even into another center back, and just drive at their outside back, you at least can create a 2v1, if not a 3v2 in the wide channel.
Bard sends that. Munson cuts inside, gets her head to it, and then continues to press and earn a deep throw. Back to Bard. Overhit pass, rushed it just a bit. 85th minute, goal kick Colombia. Sent to midfield, knocked down. U.S. come away with it quickly, though. McGovern. Scott. Johnson on the opposite side, driving through. Not on the same page with Buck. That's cleared. Titmus to Bard. Gamero is over on the right now. Munson. U.S. trying to win it back. He'll be out for a Columbia throw. Munson helps regain possession for the U.S. Johnson, pass. It's behind Cedeno, but she'll win it anyway. Munson. It's not on the same page as maybe the urgency is beating the patience at the moment. Matthews. Carrying it forward. First pass blocked. Taken away. Columbia will try to break. Scott shuts the door on that. Scott through to Buck. Gonna get on it. What a save from Ospina. Looked like that was gonna bend inside the post from Alex Buck, but Ospina flies through the air to knock it away.
We talked earlier about Katie Scott and just a difference maker. She demands the ball in the midfield, drives forward, plays that central pass. Perfect weight. Well done by Buck, getting her hips around. Great save by Columbia's goalkeeper.
Scott, top of the 6, first header away. Overhead volley away. Munson will run it down. 87th minute, about to cross into the 88th. Goal kick. The referee forces them to pick up the pace a little bit. Sent away looking for Rojas. Knocks it down. McGovern takes it away, though. Scott gonna battle for it against 2 and commits the foul. U.S. almost forced the turnover. Munson. Back to Titmus. Collision, no call. And Cedeno saves it. Cuts inside of Arboleda. Has Gamero. Big tackle again from Mercedes Martinez. Munson gets her head to it. McGovern heads it forward. Obregon goes down, trying to get back up and help. Buck will take off down the right. Martinez knocks it away and takes it away. Columbia trying to clear in the 89th. Foul called, and that'll be a card on Buck. Obregon goes back down. And she tried to turn and run in the earlier sequence. She went down with a cramp. So we're in the 89th minute, almost into the 90th. There'll be a little bit of time here, and this will get added back on. I mean, the U.S. is doing everything right in terms of chances being created. They just can't find that opening.
Yeah, Columbia's doing a really good job. You can see kind of later in the second half, but as soon as they knew that, hey, it's 1-0 and we really need to buckle in and try to kind of milk some time anywhere that they can, you've seen that they've done that, and they've actually done a pretty good job at that, of just trying to take time off the clock. You see number 3 here on the sideline.
Everybody knows what's happening here. It's all part of seeing these kind of results out.
They call it a friendly, but you can see how competitive it is.
It'll be friendly after the final whistle. Mercedes Martinez. Maybe the player of the game, Mercedes Martinez, the center back for Colombia. Been excellent. Obregon. Able to keep it moving forward. Into stoppage time now. Martinez. It's going to be a throw. Arboleda earns it. I think it's 5 minutes of stoppage time that we'll get. Yes. 20 seconds into it. Some time running short for the U.S. Can they find an equalizer?
The referee has added
Munson heads it out.
of stoppage time. 5 minutes of stoppage time.
Arboleda down the line. Rojas takes it to the corner. Knocked out, throw Colombia. Arboleda launches the throw into the 18, flicked on. Scott's the one to run it down. Sends it up the left side to Michaela Johnson. U.S. trying to get numbers forward. Gamero is in behind on the right if they can switch it. Johnson will carry it forward into the 18. There's the cross just out of the reach of Gamero. Munson will save it. Munson cuts it back, top of the 18, brought down. Buck tries to get a touch, scrambled away. Matthews clips that one back in. McGovern. Now Spina will keep it in before picking it up. 3 minutes to go. Matthews heads it to Scott. Wiener and Scott battling on that far side. Scott who wins the battle, cuts inside. Tried to switch it, Arboleda will volley it out. McGovern, Bard, Matthews, now to Scott. 2.5 to go. Halpern out wide to Johnson. Overlap coming from Halpern. Johnson's cross blocked, McGovern. Back to Michaela. Now Matthews. Arboleda gets a little something on that one. It's a deep throw for the U.S. And we have lightning too close here in Fayetteville with 2 minutes left in stoppage time. I heard numbers being said off to our right, and I know how close the Lightning can't be, and I heard that number inside that, and I was a little concerned.
Yeah, you could start to see the skies get dark here. You hear a little bit of the rumble.
Yeah.
Just hoping they could squeeze the rest of this game in.
They tried.
Ladies and gentlemen, we are under a lightning warning. We're ask that you please exit the area immediately.
From the reaction, I think they're going to call it there, which makes the most sense.
Yeah, I can imagine of now probably having to sit in the locker rooms 30 minutes, re-warm up for probably 2 more minutes of the game. Yeah, makes it tough to not call the game at this point, although in the World Cup, they would be going back out. And I would imagine from the U.S. side, still a bit disappointed to not even have the opportunity to have the deep throw in and see what could come of that.
So what takeaways do you have for the U.S. in this one as Colombia with the 1-0 win?
Yeah, I think there's some positives and probably some frustrations, I would imagine, from the coaching staff of you created a lot of opportunities, some really good opportunities in comparison to even Thursday. but really still that final piece and really finding opportunities and being able to break down a really talented but even disciplined Colombia side. So I think they're going to find opportunities like this and teams like this in the World Cup. So I think it gives them a really good chance to be able to see what that looks like, but also what that feels like, because there are going to be games like this late in the match where they've got to find a way to put the ball in the back of the net to keep themselves possibly in the tournament.
And we talked about it with Colombia coming in. They had to scramble to get to the U20 World Cup. This feels like a team that could cause some problems at that World Cup.
Yeah, the thing that I was most impressed with was just like the game savviness of kind of doing small little things that kind of milk the clock down, but also just trying to set tempo in whatever way in the moments that they needed to set tempo, whether I was slowing it down and slowing the U.S. down, but also speeding it up whenever they've regained possession in those moments. So I think Colombia looks strong and looks good and probably pretty pleased with the match today.
So final two games for Vicky Jepsen to get ready for the U20 World Cup. You had a chance to see both of them. Give me one strength and one thing that you think she'll be focusing on to improve going into the tournament.
Yeah, I definitely think that the strength would be of being able to create and move the ball against two different opponents. Still kind of staying on the attacking side of just that final product of being still patient, but trying to really identify what works against the opponent in that moment and how are they going to continue to recreate those opportunities.
We'll see. That comes up in September. There will be plenty more as rosters get named and this team starts to come together with a training camp here before heading to Poland. Thank you to everybody watching on the U.S. Soccer YouTube channel for both of these matches. Colombia will play England on Wednesday in the last friendly for both of them, as everybody gets ready for the U20 Women's World Cup coming up in September. Thank you so much to our entire crew here in Fayetteville as everybody tries to take cover now as we can hear the lightning and the thunder off in the distance. You all have a good rest of your night.
Toca mañana pedir hacer la crío.